This is the 2021 audit,
Yes.
and I would prefer that my name be what it's always been. And I'm gonna bring up the audit because there's some incorrect information.
It's June 2021.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, that's how I am.
The audits, I see what you're saying. Okay, the audits, we're not going to talk about, it's not, we need to correct those board members, commission names.
Yeah, we have to, because the terms are wrong, well,
Well, they're just wrong. You know, the names are wrong, a lot of things. And for those, because I talked to Adam about that today.
okay,
So
So you got the-
he's going to correct it.
okay.
And then there was a thing about that capitalization. I was going to bring that up too, that capitalization policy. We talked about that too, and it was in 24, and it's not in 25. And we didn't ever do anything about it, so he was going to try to figure what that was about.
Yeah, it was a long-winded discussion about that. I don't think anybody ever figured out what that was all about.
Well, we're thinking we don't need it because we don't own anything. I mean,
Well, the
we own
one
the
that brought
land.
it up was Gary Bush, and he said we needed it. So
Oh,
I don't
okay,
know
so
where-
that's where that came from.
that's where it came from.
Okay. Well, I looked it up and it didn't look like we needed to do that.
Ready?
Okay. Yep. 6 o'clock. Want to welcome everybody to the meeting and hope you had a wonderful holiday. And I'm going to go ahead and call roll. Mr. Hendricks?
Here.
Mr. Waller's absent. Ms. Ross here. Dr. Bartell?
Here.
And Mr. Lawson?
Here.
Okay, great. We'll go ahead and get started. Adam he felt like he was getting sick today. So he called me, I guess it was about 3, and he said, I think it's probably best that I don't share this, just in case. So that's why he isn't here tonight. He wanted to, he sends his regrets. So we'll go ahead and start with the agenda. The first item on the agenda is the June 2025 minutes. And what that's about is there's some verbiage in there that Elizabeth Murphy wants to correct. That was when we didn't have the recording on, so we were trying to do everything by memory. And Gary was trying to figure out what was actually said during that last part of that meeting. And so there was some more verbiage that went into the minutes that she felt like needed to be changed a little bit. So we will talk about that at length next meeting. Adam will take that up. But has everybody had a chance to read the November and December minutes? And I would like to just go ahead and vote on both of them at the same time, if everybody's agreeable to that.
Yes, sure.
And so I need a motion to approve both of those minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay, Andy.
I'll second.
And Steve. Is there any discussion on any of them, any of the information provided? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So that's approved. And now we also, for the 2024 and 25 audits that from the company and Mr. Vance, we see that there are things in there that need to be corrected, like the commissioners' names for those years. So that will be, he's going to take that back to the inspection, the company, and the audit company, and he will get those corrected, and then we'll vote on it at the next meeting. Excuse me, forgive me, please. I almost forgot public comment. So.
I'll be first for a change.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry.
I apologize.
My name is Pat Hunter, and I do have concerns about the audit. The first audit, I was there only for 2 months, so I think it should reflect that. that I wasn't, a member for the entire 12 months. So I hope that is corrected, along with my name. And then, of course, in 2025, I was no longer there. There was another lady, I can't remember her name, but she was there for a couple of months, so
Right.
it should reflect that she was there only for a couple of months also.
That's true. There are several corrections that need to
Right.
happen there.
The other concern that I have has to do with the lawsuit that was filed. It was, from memory, it was filed in October. I went down to the courthouse and got it, I think I gave all my copies away, but, it appears that the papers were never served. And there was no response. And then it was withdrawn without board approval. So I feel that things that should have been done weren't done. And more importantly, why was a lawsuit filed without first making sure that whatever came of it, like the road issue, that it was first resolved to everyone's satisfaction before it was withdrawn. So I think we need an explanation why that was done.
Okay, well, now, as I recall in all of that, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, Elizabeth went ahead and put in the suit, but she did not record it. It didn't have to be recorded for a certain number of days, I think
Right.
60 days or
I
some
can't
number
remember
of
exactly
days.
what it was.
And the reason was because she really wanted to have some discussions with, she wanted Republic to know what we were concerned about. And that was just a real good, solid way of expressing that. Huh?
They already knew what we were concerned about.
Well, I know, but it's like, it's meeting to meeting and discuss, it's all that. This was a very concise, description of what our expectations were that we wanted to see. And so, so she went into discussion with Republic and the attorneys in Republic. And after some period of time, they decided that there had been enough response that it wasn't a matter of withdrawing or anything, it just wasn't carried forward. So, and she had explained that to the commissioners. Does anybody want to add to that?
Yeah, it's my understanding we didn't need board approval to remove it because it was actually never officially filed.
Right.
That's not what we were told. We were told that the lawsuit was filed.
Yes.
That is what we were told as the public and what we paid for as the public.
And there are some legal nuances here that I am not familiar with. And she did kind of roughly explain some of those things. Can anybody do a better job than I'm doing that with how that was presented?
I would say, will she be available next month for the meeting?
Yeah, we can certainly talk.
I'm not a lawyer, I remember what all she said, but I don't remember exactly what it was. And I would be afraid to say exactly what she said.
Right.
Can we ask her
Or,
next month?
I would personally like to see something in writing because I don't know what it costs, but I'm sure she didn't work for free for those months that she was talking to Republic. But we had expectations, at least I did, that when that complaint was filed, and I thought it was filed, according to the court, it was filed, papers weren't served, because we thought it was a suit, but it was maybe just a big bluff, but we had expectations that something concise, something decisive was going to come out of it. And if it has to do with the road, I don't live there, but the people that live there know that, well, they'll have to speak about it, but I don't think they're still not pleased with the results. So I think that we need to find out exactly what Republic is going to do, because I don't think it's living up to the expectations from the people that live down there and have to travel on that road day in and day out. I don't, I go down there occasionally, but they are living, with that issue.
And I think in a little bit further down in the agenda, we'll be talking about the paving update, and so that will be sort of, there'll be some,
Do you have any idea what Elizabeth charged for the filing and her time? And will we have something in the packet that tells us what the cost was, legal?
I don't know if it'll be broke down in the
Yeah.
law, it could be.
That-
Yeah,
I'd like
so-
to
We'd
know
have to
what's
see.
above and beyond her typical, what we pay monthly, what we paid for this
We-
lawsuit, and I'd like a summary of what happened.
well, we did have numbers that she would bill for her regular duties. And then there was another amount for,
For litigation.
the litigation. And so, I don't have that breakdown from
Maybe
her.
here, but I'll look, but I don't
And
know.
based
I don't think
on,
we've got it.
based on the complaint, there was another attorney, was there not? So
There
we
was,
should be
she
getting
was
another
in,
bill.
she was doing there were some consultants that she had asked some support from some consultants.
So at some point, you're going to vote to pay her?
I think we did that last.
I believe we've already have.
Yeah.
But don't quote me on that exactly. I know we paid her here last meeting.
It
Meeting
was,
before
it was the time before last, because I was
Might have been
here.
November, yeah.
We paid her for that work, and so we can go back and, it would be in the, well,
I'm trying to
I don't have
I'll-
have
I'll have
the minutes printed out for me here, but it would have been in the minutes.
So,
For
so
November.
we'll have something that tells us what resulted
What we
from the
paid
complaint.
I think as we go along, I think we're going to see some improvement, and well, like I said, we'll talk about some of these things later in this meeting. That things are happening and things are improving, maybe, and I think the pictures that we looked at, that Brian provided today, there have been some improvements even since those pictures were made. So after that rain. So, but we'll talk about that in just a bit.
The other thing is, last month was December, right? And I don't think that you had a quorum, so there weren't minutes. I guess they were just notes for, I haven't seen them, but were there notes for last month or what?
There were, we just
We just approved
We just
them.
approved the minutes.
I
They
understand
were in the
that,
packet.
But I don't think that you had a quorum last month.
Well, it doesn't matter. There were still discussions and there were quite a bit of,
Right, there were just no actions that could be taken.
we just couldn't, they just couldn't vote.
There was nothing voted on.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, the minutes were done because I turned them in to Adam earlier this week. So, and we approved them just now. So, and they're in the packet
Okay.
that's online. So, so we will talk more about the 24-25 audit. Well, is there anybody else that wanted to say anything?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
Brian Byers, and my main concern is the road. I sent a couple pictures of the road on Sunday.
Mhm.
It's super clean, and that's because we had a heavy downpour of rain Saturday and into Sunday. So Sunday, the road was super clean. And then come Monday, if you'll follow the timestamp and date on them pictures, it's not. It's just brown as it can be coming up through there. A couple days later, I took more pictures. It hadn't got any better between them 2 days. It was the same. I tried to give them benefit of the doubt to see if they was going to sweep it up, clean it up, whatever it's going to be, or see if it got worse, and it did. It just heavy mud droppings. It's not smeared mud like they've been backing into wet mud and tarring it out. So I don't know about that, but there's big clumps of mud all the way up the road. I mean, it is just like it has always been. It has not changed. The pictures don't lie. And when I left there at 5 o'clock, that was the same day it was when I left there, when I turned the pictures in at 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock when I sent them to you.
And that-
So it hadn't changed by the time it started getting dirty on Monday till today. They're the same, the road is the same condition. It's the same. Sunday, the road was clean, super clean. You can see the lines all the way up through there, and now they're just faded off because of the mud that's on the road. And two, if the paving doesn't work, what's the next step? Are they prepared to go the extra step, the next step to fix the problem? Because my opinion is the pavement up that hill and back is not a fix for the mud. As long as you continue to dump in that mud, there's gonna be mud track out, whether it's on their road or the highway, the state highway. And my third thing is while we're all here together, I wanted to know if the contaminated dirt from the new school construction site has been brought into that landfill. And if so, was it disposed of the way it's supposed to be? I don't know that, I'm asking, was it brought there? And so that's a question that I had in my mind, where that dirt has went, if it had come to the landfill. So I don't know if it came there or not, I'm just curious if it did, and if it was, where was it put?
When you say contaminated soil,
It's contaminated soil from the new school project in Lenore City.
and it's contaminated with,
The soil's contaminated, that's what we were told.
They had to, supposedly they had to.
It was called unsuitable soil.
Yeah.
And the school director had an analysis done, a soil analysis. I was at the school board meeting when it was discussed. A gentleman brought it up, and he said that he followed the trucks to 2 locations, one to Publix and one down to Matlock Bend, and he thought it had joined Tennessee National. Now, I don't know, I didn't go there, I'm just saying what he said, but I asked the school director I wanted to know where the drop-off locations were. And my only concern, I don't know what unsuitable means, but if it was not suitable to stay there, you know, why were they moving it somewhere else, either to a residential development or a commercial development, if it was not suitable to be there? So, other people have made a records request, I haven't yet, but I think that needs to be discussed, because my only concern is, I know that the Solid Waste Commission gave Tennessee National, and I don't know that it's related to this, but I do know that the Tennessee National people came and requested an easement for a berm, 50 feet long, 8 to 16 feet tall. And I'm just wondering, does anyone know if that berm has been constructed? I don't know where the dirt went. The gentleman told me that he would show me, but I haven't had time to do anything. And I don't know, I think I'm just answering, you know, Brian's concern, or to some point adding to his concern. We don't know what suitable means, or unsuitable. We don't know what it showed, and we don't know where it went, other than it went to Loudon and to Dixie Lee.
Was it unsuitable or contaminated, or?
He
both?
said unsuitable.
It
Unsuitable.
did not pass a soil test.
It could have just not had good pack. I mean, it may not have been a silty soil, and it just didn't have good compaction.
Well, there
I
was.
mean, I don't know, I hadn't heard anything about it. I was
Right,
just
I hadn't
thinking,
heard
I hadn't heard of any contamination, but I think
No,
any
he
dry.
said it was
would be a compaction
unsuitable.
issue.
if it was unsuitable, it could have just been that it wouldn't pack.
Well, it was unsuitable, but then they also had some topsoil, and they wanted to make a distinction that there was 2 types of soil, the unsuitable and the topsoil. But I can tell you, because I went to all the school board meetings, the soil was never supposed to leave the site, because it had been written into an agreement that it would go to the church to fix a lot that they wanted addressed. So again, we don't
Well,
know where the unsuitable
okay,
soil.
but I'm not sure, I mean, you know, I really don't know. I'm just going to say that, and Stoddard and David can confirm this, but there are restrictions of anything that is brought into our landfill that we cannot accept hazardous materials. We have to have even for sludge, it goes through a lot of analysis,
Two processes.
two processes.
TDEC and Republic.
And Republic, and it's analyzed to determine whether or not, and I think even TDEC, whatever Republic does, TDEC has to sign off on it before.
TDEC does their own individual approval.
Yes, but they also, but TDEC is the one that has to sign off, have the final say whether it can go into the landfill. So,
And I don't know if it went to the landfill, I was asking if it did, where would it have
And
been
that would be
put?
my question to,
Yeah.
did you receive, can you say with any assurance whether you did or did not receive any of that soil?
There's no contaminated soil in the summary report for December. Do you know if it was December that it would have been delivered?
The gentleman said that it had been going on for a couple of months, so I don't know what that means, whether it means October, November, December. It was just, the gentleman that spoke about it isn't here, and he would have to give information, because he's the one that followed the trucks down to Loudon, somewhere near Tennessee National. That's why I was asking about the berm.
mhm.
And he's the one that followed the truck to Publix, and he has pictures of documentation.
Would that be a
Just
question
saying
for
what
the
he said.
commission, county commission?
That's more,
Would that
yeah,
be,
that,
would that be down there? I'm just
Yeah, I think-
asking you. Would that
Well,
not be
I
That
down
don't
sounds
know. I think
reasonable.
the only concern was that the name Tennessee National was mentioned, and I didn't know whether it was in close proximity or anything. Like I said, the gentleman that spoke about it, he needs to come to the meeting, whether it's county commission.
he needs to go to the county
and
commission
bring
meeting, I
his
think,
pictures
is where
and
that needs to be
describe where it
discussed.
went.
So I think that needs to go to the county commission.
But do
And-
you know what the status is of the berm?
No,
I can illuminate a few
okay,
issues here.
Thank
So Tennessee National has been having Claiborne haul in material that I don't think came from a school. It came from an area designated of suitable material that they could use for the berm. If the unsuitable material that you're referencing at the school, I guess, was deemed suitable, maybe, but I cannot speak to that. I know the berm has not been constructed. But if it was contaminated soil, that material from the generator, so if it was the school, they would have to go to TDEC to get approval for that. If it was approved to come to the landfill, TDEC would notify that it is approved for the landfill, and then it's on us to accept it. If it is accepted at the landfill, it would go on liner and it would never leave on, it would be used as alternative daily cover or some sort of material that would stay online at all times.
And do you know what the company, the hauling company?
I know
is?
Claiborne Hauling has been hauling to Tennessee National. They have not pulled from a school source, I know that. They have sources of virgin land they've been using, but I can't speak if that was the hauler or not. I just know those are the trucks that have been passing by.
okay. And that's, David, did you want to say, okay. This is something that, if this kind of concern needs to be, the county commission, I think, is who you should
Well,
be
they're gonna
talking.
say it concerns the school board, but, if it's going
Well,
to a residential in the city or Farragut, we can't go to
Or the
every meeting
landfill
and
right
ask
away,
questions.
it's still on the landfill, whether it's coming across a scale or if it's coming in the back door.
No, it would never come on our site if it's coming in the back door, at least not with our approval.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying, if they're bringing it through Tennessee National, dumping it, building a berm with soil, maybe, you know what I mean? Not paying to haul it in, if somebody's paying to haul it dirt in, how do we, we don't know, it's still being dumped on the landfill.
okay,
don't
this
know
is so
that.
outside of our realm, but, but there is, any of that movement, soil movement, that would have to be permitted soil. They would have to go through a permit to move that kind of soil. And I would think, and so that again would be talking to the, county commission about permits and what they're allowing and moving that soil, and because there's a requirement for certain disturbed soils, certain disturbing soils that you have to go through the planning commission.
I understand.
So that's something that we really would not have any kind of comment about. So, is there anything else that wants?
Well, if just try to, keep us posted on what the second route, if the paved road is not working, what's our next alternative?
And that's gonna be discussed
Okay.
a little bit later,
Thank
I think. Anybody else?
The road is still dirty. That is my comment. And I gave my car wash pass away. What's the point?
Anybody else? It's noted. Thank you. Okay, so anything else? Any other comments? Larry, did you have anything?
My
Yes.
name's Chris Kirby. So you're telling me that we've already paved? I just came back in town. I've been gone for a month since our last meeting. So you have
Well, please
paved?
get an update on that.
Where,
I understand,
Yeah.
but I understand. But just as a layman, if you paved, I just came home and nothing's changed. So there's an observation for you. The mud's still there. And I've been gone a month.
okay.
So if you paved, it didn't work, I'm sorry. I was hoping to see improvement, but, so now I don't have to talk when you're in your discussion about the issue, how's that?
But thank you for that. So that's
I didn't know that you
Three.
paved or not, but I'm listening to everybody.
three comments and the way Larry's been nodding his head, I think he's, he's kind of there too. So, okay, so, we kind of talked about the audits and we'll talk about those next month. The new borrow pit update. There's a rezone we had,
Yes, Mr. Waller provided the zoning application to us right around Christmas. We dropped the zoning application off with the fee payments right after the new year. We have a hearing on February 10th at 5:30. I believe the commissioner is going to run herd on that. I will be there for support if he needs to answer questions, but once they do that, they'll approve the zoning switch if all goes to plan, and we will then file for a construction general permit to develop the borrow area.
okay, and that would be the planning commission that's.
Yes.
For that rezone approval. Okay, and then a paving, let's see, what
All right,
everybody's.
here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, so back in November when this was announced, it was specifically illustrated as a step in the right direction. You can look at the minutes, these are recorded meetings. I specifically said this is not a fix-all approach, it is a step in the right direction. We knew that this was kind of step one of a series of improvements we were gonna have to make to ensure that this was a mitigated problem. We did put our best foot forward. I put together a business case. Republic was able to fund me almost $500,000 to get this project started. We did pave the initial road. There was a lot of excavation to remove what was deemed unsuitable before that'll be reused around the landfill with rocky fill. But we do have 2 catch basins and 1,000 linear foot stretch from the scale house up past the wheel wash that is paved. Essentially, the idea is we're removing sediment from 72 and keeping it on the landfill as much as possible. We did install 2 catch basins at the time. The 3rd catch basin is going to be installed up gradient of the paved road this weekend, pending the snow conditions that are potentially coming tomorrow and Saturday. And so that was the idea. Now, we did ask Teresa on Friday and Saturday to snap photos of all tires leaving the hill. During that review, tires were almost spotless. There was virtually no sediment tracked out on these tires as they were coming back across the scales. Obviously, that same practice was not executed on Monday, and so we will follow through and make sure that we're going to continue to monitor this. One of the issues that it does look like is on 72 is that we have some legacy mud that is still existing on the road. There's just, it's been coated over time. I hear some chuckling behind me. That's all fine and good. There was correspondence that I saw from previous years in which Republic offered to pressure wash the road and kind of return it to its state. And that was denied in an effort to, I guess, preserve stormwater conveyances that would lead to Tennessee National. We can absolutely put silt wattles, things like that for sediment capture, but that was approached before and it was not allowed. So the street sweeper was the only method in which we could approach to keep the road clean on 72, but this is still an ongoing effort that we're trying to mitigate. One of the issues that we're having right now is we're working 2 working phases. We still have on the top deck, when we get dedicated into our new cells, we will have a fully rocked road all the way around the hill. There will be very minimal interaction with sediment on the landfill. But as of now, we executed this in the Q4 of the final year. We're in the winter months now. We're doing the best we can, but in all reality, this was posed as a step in the right direction, not the fix-all that it's being laid out to be, I guess.
ask any questions? Stoddard about this?
So I don't wanna spend much time on it, but you said it, and Larry back here may be able to shed some light on this, the, pressure washing of the road. I mean,
They used to have a water truck that they washed the road off,
I remember that.
and it was washing the sediment into the stream quicker. It was eroding the shoulder of the road in certain locations. Although, once the mud is out of the landfill and on the road, you gotta do something.
Right.
And I commend them for what they have done thus far, but it has not worked. The sediment is still coming out on the tires. I went out and rode up and down the road beside the, trucks that are coming out of the landfill. And it's not big cake mud, it's small, quarter size, but it's still on the road. And like Brian said, the pictures, I went down there before I come to the meeting, rode through. So it is an ongoing problem. But washing the road off, when the rain comes, it washes the road off like Brian said. And we kind of get reset. But in the past, they used to have a water truck, and that water truck was on the road, but the mud was much, much, much heavier back in that day.
Like I told you, I can remember the days when it was almost basketball size, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to dodge them. That's been years ago, but it was bad. So we've come a long way since then, but obviously we still have more work to do.
You
It's
don't mind.
such a traffic hazard, even with a sweeper truck out there. And you put a water truck out there, you have the same problem. So it's, which one's heavier, you know? But the road just needs to be cleaned off. And of course, we're entering into our rainy season, and it's, Mother Nature's gonna help us, but it's still a problem.
How effective has the sweeper been?
Waste of time.
Is that a real question?
Well, yeah, I mean,
It
I
just
really don't,
spreads it.
I don't know,
You
does the
can't
sweeper
even
have water in it? Is it spraying water
It's
as
a
it goes, or
traffic
is it
hazard
simply
at
just a
best.
sweeper?
It's just a sweeper.
There's no water in the
But I can
sweeper
tell
It's
you,
truck?
just blowing it around.
a Saturday morning, the sun coming up, after it's actually dried for a few days and that thing's running, it's nothing but a huge dust cloud.
Oh, I followed
You
it and
can't
seen
even
that
see-
myself, I have.
You can't even see the oncoming traffic when you're swerving around that thing, when the
Oh,
dust is
that
kicking
bad.
real good, and the sun's coming at you up from the east. It's challenging. I'm surprised y'all haven't had more wrecks out there. And I
So,
drive it
so the
6
effort
times
is,
a day.
so the effort is to try to stop the mud from getting
Absolutely.
on the road. And I think, were you gonna say something, Stoddard, about,
The gentleman, sorry, the gentleman in the back, I was trying to infer his comment in a way, so is it better in a sense that you would like us to wash it off now?
You're gonna get kickback from.
Did you-
That's a double-edged question.
No, I was forwarded your
Okay.
email today. I appreciate
The
you
last two
including it.
pictures was really good, and that was on Sunday. I mean, that was two pictures of, the road was clean. You could see the lines, I mean, it was clean. And it was, and I've got more pictures if you wanna see that from Sunday. And then it's just gradually got, and Water says the week went on. I mean, it's,
But I haven't seen the sweeper this week as much as normal.
yeah, as much as normal, that's true.
do you wash the sweeper?
Yeah, well, yeah.
There was a time when y'all had somebody out there with a pressure washer after the wheel wash. Is that something that
Yeah, we still do that.
still do that?
Now, the wheel wash, is it still before the pavement, after where is it in conjunction, and I call them the cattle guards, I know, the catch basins, where is it?
So there's about, I don't know, probably 40 feet of asphalt before you get to the the wheel wash. So you go over the wheel wash, we even make the drivers back up through the wheel wash multiple times, and they go through about 50 more feet, they'll hit the first catch basin. I don't know, probably 250, 300 feet past that, they'll hit the next catch basin, and then it's a smooth stretch all the way to the scales, where they wait to either be, allow traffic to come in or leave the landfill. I mean, that's just the general, there will be a catch basin installed, like I was saying before, this week, we have one more catch basin. It'll be installed at the start of the asphalt, as soon as we can get it in there,
Above,
which it's
above
been,
the other two.
yes.
So that'll go through 3 of those.
Go through 3, and the first one is designed to be a sense of, let's shake, let's catch what we can before we go into the wheel wash, because obviously, you know, what gets caked on tires, the wheel wash is either going to support it or potentially shed what could be remnants of it, but at the same time, this is an issue in this region, I think holistically. I've kind of navigated some public forums and seen that mud on roads is a common issue in this region in general. And so general lithology of the soils in the Loudon area is generally a issue with just getting caked on there. I mean, you walk on a wet clay area with boots on, you're gonna get mud caked. Your boots are gonna, gain 10 pounds just by getting mud
We
caked on.
don't have mud on our road. On our regular road, we do not have that amount
So
of mud.
let me
Is
ask
that
you,
what you mean by legacy mud?
No, I mean, the legacy mud is just the fact that this has been a years. And so what you see is on the shoulders and the medians is you
And
still
it
see,
creeps back into the main road?
well, no, you run through it.
Okay, so Larry, did you have something to say?
Yes, I'd like to make one more comment and I'll hush. Seems like the best results has been, and Brian, you can speak up on this, when Republic had rock pads that we were dumping off of. That was the least amount of mud that come out of the landfill on the road at that time.
True.
And you could always tell when they moved the pad, the excessive mud was on the road. Is that the cure? I don't know, but it was a vast improvement when the trucks dumped off rock pads.
how long has those catch basins been in place now, would you say?
A month,
Are you
5
seeing,
weeks.
are you seeing sediment? How are you cleaning them out? How do those get cleaned out?
They are gonna be cleaned on our quarterly vacuum events that we did initially in December. There was little sediment in there in the December time period between then and now. So we have our vac truck coming back out on Monday this coming week to assess the cleanouts. We have a semi-annual obligation to address our cleanouts. And so they're gonna do that and back out the sediments, clean the wheel wash, do all that. That's not a cadence that's going to be only the cadence of cleaning the wheel wash, but that is just something we're supplementing with our typical wheel wash cleanings. It'll be cleaned out this period, and catch basins, cleanouts, everything.
How large are the catch basins?
Are
Are they in gallons or?
I couldn't tell you, and they're 4 feet wide and inner diameter and 16 feet long and about 5 feet deep, so.
And you've had them in there for about a month?
Mhm.
And you don't, it's not, I mean, would you say you've got 2 inches in the bottom, 2 feet in the bottom of sediment now that's not been cleaned out
Well, it's
yet?
retaining water right now, so it's a little bit difficult to say, just because the rain events but I mean, it's just caked on the bottom right now. I would say that, from a weight perspective, I mean, it's pretty substantial in there right now, but is it overwhelming the catch basin? Not at all, but it is capturing sediment.
Well, obviously, that's my question. I want to see, and if you're not seeing anything in there after a month, then that tells me that it's not doing what the expectations were. I think that we all had expectations of what they're going to catch. So if we're not having to clean, and I can't say a time frame. I would think if you'd have to clean them out every week, if they were doing a really great job. The first one, then the second one will be less, and the third one, and obviously so on and so forth, all the way down to nothing. So anyhow, there's work to be done. That was just my question.
Yeah, this was step one of what we're
Right.
trying to get sediment as far from 72 as possible.
Right.
And so that was all I tried to illuminate when I presented this project in November. I did not at all sell it as a fix-all. We're trying to solve this problem,
I
and
do.
we're motivated to
You
fix
did.
this problem.
That's good. You're
And
correct.
you've talked about pads too, putting in some, right?
The pads are around the wheel wash. One of the things we have when they're doing this catch basin this weekend is strategically placing speed bumps. So around these catch basins, we have laid out measurements where they're going to place speed bumps in a fashion to where as back tires are hitting speed bump, the front tire is over the catch basin. As front tires are hitting the speed bump, the back tires are over the catch basin. So I mean, we're strategically approaching this as best we can. One of the items that, Mr. Byers has illuminated, and we've talked about it internally, is when we have rainstorms, you get a lot of laminar flow on those asphalt roads. That laminar flow is very helpful in pulling tires off. It's the days after, which that was a concern. So I mean, it's clearly there. I mean, obviously, we feel good about the job that was done initially, but we knew it wasn't a fix-all.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Again, just for clarification, from your experience, is this something that's particular, given the history of development of this landfill? Is this an issue with landfills generally in your experience, or?
It's trash business. I mean, it's generally dirty. It's in my best interest to take something dirty and try to make it as clean and pretty as possible. It's a difficult task, but yeah, you go to any landfill, you're gonna have trash. I mean, you're gonna interact with mud or rock or dirt in some capacity. This region, northern Georgia, western South Carolina, you have these really just tough clays. It's just difficult to shed. You go to Florida or the coast or anywhere, Texas, you're gonna see that track house not as big of a deal. You may see other issues, leachate, that type of thing, that may be a little bit more aggressive because of just temperatures, but in general, this is common. But it's also the fact that Matlock did not have any pavement historically was an obvious issue. If you look pretty much at every landfill in the industry that is halfway decently run, they're gonna have some sort of stretch of asphalt or something that allows traffic to go through. You know, one of the, byproducts of this project has also been, I've sat in the scale house on 3 different occasions since then, kind of a feel good, hearing the drivers actually satisfied with coming onto the landfill. You have people, homeowners coming in knowing that they're not, having to get wheel alignments, things like that. This is a benefit outside of just simply trying to address track out. I've been selling it as a step in the right direction. It's not a fix-all. We still have work to do. We're motivated to get it done. Just, it helps if people work with us. I wanted your opinion on the last one. I wanted to try to see, hey, what are some ideas we can work with? I can guarantee you we're in this new cell. There will be very limited. You go to the landfill today, you will see that there's almost virtually no dirt interaction as you wrap around the hill to go to the cell. It's that we are not there for all traffic just yet.
Explain that a little bit.
We have approval for 2 working faces at the landfill right now, one of which is so we can fluff in the new cell. We need Teleco type MSW, household MSW to be the first layer that goes into the cell. So it's very limited traffic we can take back to the new cell right now. But once we get everyone off the top deck, and we can send people along these designated roads to our new cell, it's going to be a much cleaner operation. It's just, the timing's frustrating. We're in the winter months. We pulled all these funds in Q4 to try to get something going towards the end of the year. Here we are. I'm pushing to get everything done. I have no problem spending money. That's my job in Republic, is to spend money and try to fix issues. I'm gonna keep doing it.
Okay, so, moving on to the next item is the Loudon County, the probe report for the gasification.
Yeah, we submitted our 4th quarter probe report to TDEC earlier this week. No evidence of methane migration to any of our probes, which means essentially that everything's staying contained within liner.
And the next is the Republic report. Did anyone have any questions about any parts of that report? I noticed there were some things that TDEC called attention to, but they saw what you were doing and felt like you were addressing whatever the concern they had, and they did not, point out that something needed to be done immediately.
Right, I didn't see any violations.
Right, so that was a good thing. Anybody have any other questions on that? I just wanted to say one more thing, and this is not, I talked to Tim Hendrick today. There's an opportunity next week on the 21st. The TDEC office in Knoxville is going to have a meeting and talk about, they're finally, after all this long time, they're going to finally coming out with their guidance for the 10-year plan. And it has been, I've been looking for this for the past 2 years. So, and so they are also going to potentially discuss, they're going to discuss opportunities for grants to get help. So, so I was going to go, it's from 9 to 12 in Knoxville. And so, I've got, Tim is sending me, I hadn't seen it, I didn't see it right before I left. So I will forward that to the rest of the commission. So if y'all decide that you want to go with me or go, that would be great. I would appreciate that. So, so I think, is there any other business that the commission would like to bring up? So if not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
And a second?
I'll second.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all.